discussing material balance which involve reactions. So up to here in I think last 2 to 3 lectures we have covered mostly the basic terminologies which you will come across material balance when reactions are involved. So that was basic stoichiometry, stoichiometric coefficients, stoichiometric ratio. Whenever one of those is given, how to find other. For example, we were using all this stuff in yesterday's lecture. Then excess reactant, limiting reactant, their calculation as well, extent of reaction. Then there was something selectivity, yield, all these things we have discussed so far. So now when you are gonna solve these problems, you will come across these terms. For example, there will be written yield, there will be written conversion of something, there will be written one of those is in excess, or for example you have to find some reactant in excess, or he used some terminology like maximum extent. So hopefully you are aware about these now. So now because we have to solve those systems, the only concept left here is one thing, degree of freedom, and most of the things which we are going to discuss today will revolve around degree of freedom. All those steps which we discussed earlier somewhere for solving material balance on non-reacting system, those steps are also valid for reacting system. The only difference here will be the new terminologies which we have already discussed so far, as well the degree of freedom, how to calculate that. And because this, when there are reaction system, there are actually 3 ways by which you can solve material balance. I discussed this point somewhere earlier in the lectures, that one of those is like to apply balance on molecular species. So can you give me example of molecular species? For example, if you did even yesterday or earlier, molecular species example, if you are gonna solve.
O2.
Yes, O2. For example, if you recall yesterday's, this stuff which we solved first part of this problem, that was around chlorine and C3H6. So when you wrote their balance, that is molecular species balance. But here the other way is to solve those problems which involve reaction. There you can also use atomic species balance. So for example, if you go back to the yesterday's numerical, you will see that at the inlet of reactor you had chlorine as Cl2, and there was, I think, propylene C3H6. So if you have to apply, you have to solve that system, you can apply the balance of these atoms, which will be like chlorine, that can be C, and that can be H. There are 3 atoms which you can use. The third, which I didn't mention here, but we are going to discuss that is balanced by using equation of extent. We can write equation of extent for all species. For example, species here, chlorine is one species, and for example, ethylene, propylene, or all other products which were produced in that reaction, those are all we can consider all species and write the balance for all those, not balance, sorry, equation of extent for all species. How to write, and that equation same that you use for extent, that can be written for all species, and we can solve that to find unknown, all those things which are unknown, for example flow rates of different components. So in this next slides we will discuss that when there are molecular species or atomic species or even balance using extent equation, how to deal with the degree of freedom. But before that, let's look at few other points. For example, here there is an example of dehydrogenation of ethane to produce ethylene. I think we came across this example yesterday also, that you remove the hydrogen from this and you are unsaturating the molecule hydrocarbon. So this is the reactor in which you can see that only the feed is here ethane, which is entering to the reactor. Inside reactor, in the presence of catalyst by and by any other mean, this reaction take place, that dehydrogenation of ethane occur and ethylene is produced. And at the outlet of reactor, you guys can see that there are 40 kilomoles hydrogen per minute, and initial feed was 100 kilomole ethane. At the outlet, hydrogen is 40, and two other are unknown here. He didn't mention their flow rate. By the way, one thing, up to yesterday's lecture or even today's lecture, this is chapter 5 from your textbook, I think. But this specific lecture part which I'm going to discuss today, I think, and maybe by tomorrow, that is from other book which is by Felder. The other book, helping book which you have with you, that is by Felder. So it's chapter 4 and section 4.7. All those who read the book along with the lecture, so it is recommended to look for this stuff which I am talking today. Most of this is from section 4.7 of Felder book. Right here, when now I ask you, suppose, can you solve this problem? Hello?
No.
Okay, for example, up to here, some knowledge you guys have, maybe you can try something. If I ask you, okay, just try to solve it by using any balance. So what you can do, at least, what balance you can write here? Something do you remember something called overall balance?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So overall balance here, if I apply, overall balance is always input is equal to output. So that's one thing we can write overall balance. Second, can you write the balance of species? Excuse me. Hey,
Sir,
guys here.
C2,
आज
C2H.
मेरी आवाज क्लियर आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
तो
Yes,
आज
sir, आ गई.
okay, fine. Then here you can write the species balance. For example, for yes, as you mentioned, for ethane, for hydrogen, for ethylene, and you can solve. Somehow there will be the equation. Then later you can look. Although you don't know how to write those, are still at this stage. Just as per your previous knowledge, somehow you can write the equation of species. The other way is to write the balance on like these elements which are like hydrogen. There is two elements majorly, hydrogen and carbon. So there are number of balance which we can write like overall balance, balance on the species, as well as somehow you can write like elemental balance. So overall balance, just remember, always overall balance is always input is equal to output. Overall balance didn't involve other stuff. Always it is considered that input is equal to output. This is about overall balance. But for species balance, you guys know that there is generation consumption term. For example, here if I apply the balance on these species which are like ethane, ethylene and hydrogen, because they are part of reaction as per reaction equation, so some of them are generated during reaction, one is consumed. For example, if I write the balance of ethane, then I have to include the term which is consumption or generation. When I write the balance of ethane, which term
Consumption.
should be consumption? Because this is being consumed in the reaction. And what about hydrogen?
Sir.
Generation.
Yes, hydrogen is being
Generation,
consumed
sir.
because it is produced as a result of reaction. So this you have to keep in mind. When we started this, we already discussed that while applying the balance and reaction system, this should be kept in mind, like which one is generated or which one is consumed, and from where did you get this information? This information comes from the reaction. You should have reaction equation. When you know the reaction equation, stoichiometric equation, then you can tell that which one is being consumed or produced. At the same time, this already you are aware about that, the things which we talked, like in the last even last lecture, you solved one problem in which you wrote the species balance and solved it. But the other way here is to write, as I told you, that atomic balance. So atom, overall you have to look at the atomic species in your system. For example, if you look at the given example, there are only two atomic species. What are those?
Carbon and hydrogen.
Yes, good. Carbon and hydrogen are only two species, so we can apply the balance of carbon and then the balance of hydrogen and can solve it to find the unknown quantities. So whenever you write the balance of atom, any atom, whenever you will be writing, because you will be using this, so just remember always input will be equal to output. There is nothing else like consumption or generation, but this is valid for like steady state system in which there is no accumulation. So input is always equal to output. So because atom are neither generated nor destroyed, so destroyed mean consumption and generation or creation mean the same thing. So because that's not taking place in mostly common reaction, just leave nuclear reaction on the side. So in all other common reaction which we are going to discuss, input is always equal to output. You can write your balance. So for example, here you want to write balance on hydrogen, so you have to take care of this thing, because hydrogen, for example, if you go back and look at this, if I write the balance of hydrogen, there will be two balance of hydrogen. One is based on hydrogen molecule, H2. When I'm writing this balance, can I call it atomic species balance or molecular species balance? When I write balance on hydrogen, will it be species balance or atomic species or molecular species?
Molecular
Sure.
species.
Atomic.
Molecular species. Atomic.
I mean, yes, you have to take care of this. If you are going to use H2, H2 is for molecular species, and the other is
The
for
simple hydrogen atomic.
simple hydrogen or atomic hydrogen, that is used for atomic balance. Just take care of this, because sometimes students make mistake in this where they get confused on the hydrogen. H2 is for molecular species, because you can see that is H2. Hydrogen means there are two atoms, they are making a molecule, and other H is simple, just simple H you can write. So I mean, can you recall journal balance equation, which we already studied, but for example, it is being used for steady state processes, either it is continuous or batch. So what will be the shape of equation? Can you tell anyone?
Input is equal to output.
First of all, tell me for steady state process, what does this mean when we say steady state? We discussed this somewhere earlier.
No consumption, no generation.
No, man.
Zero,
Not like that.
zero accumulation.
Please?
Zero accumulation.
Sir, input
Accumulation.
output equal
Yes,
होता है.
Zero
steady
accumulation.
state is that process in which anything coming in is equal to out. That's the simple steady state in which actually more technically you can say accumulation is equal to zero. So I will write overall equation, but when I put accumulation is equal to zero, so overall equation I'm not writing general for overall balance. It is general balance equation, equation which involve all five terminologies. That was accumulation is equal to input plus generation minus output minus generation or consumption, sorry. So in that case, when you say steady state, now you guys please should remember these terminologies when we started the material balance, because most of the time he will just use one terminology, as he said here, steady state. So steady state, whenever it is like accumulation is equal to zero. So you can rearrange the equation. When accumulation is equal to zero, input plus generation will be equal to output plus consumption. This is the equation from where we started. So when I write the molecular species balance now on the system which we have discussed, the system which was provided earlier in the example, this is the general equation which you have. Now let's write the balance for species. If I ask you to write balance on C2H6 or okay hydrogen, first of all, let's go back to that diagram. It should be there, but okay. Like, look at this. Can you write the balance of hydrogen? If I ask you to write an equation for balance of hydrogen, can you write? Let me put it here on this slide. Yes. Hydrogen balance. Hello.
Sir, input 0 हो जाएगा इसमें.
So yes, overall you will look at the equation. Good, exactly, you are right. When you are writing for H2, input is 0. So what is left here? Will there be any generation?
No, sir.
Oh man, it is generated in the reaction due to this
Sir,
system.
generation तो होगी
Hydrogen
ना.
gas.
Yes,
Hydrogen.
I didn't bring here the equation, but the system is same. I think you guys can see the diagram on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so something is entering to the reactor, is C2H6, and that's the same reaction which I already showed you in the start of the lecture, that C2H6 is like dehydrogenated and C2H4 is produced here. So hydrogen generation, so generation term will stay there as well. What about output? Does it exist on output?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is coming out of the reactor. You
Yes,
can
sir.
see flow rate is given as well. Okay. What about consumption? Is it consumed in any reaction?
No, sir.
No.
No.
It is not consumed in reaction. So overall, you can write for hydrogen. If I ask you to write, it is equal to, like, generation is equal to output plus
Consumption. तो नहीं
No.
होगी 0.
nothing. Generation equal to output. Simple. There is nothing, no consumption, because the reaction which you have seen is the only one in which hydrogen is only being produced. So from here we can find its value maybe. Like next, if I ask you to write balance on C2H6, now can you write quickly, or can you tell C2H6 by looking at the diagram and applying the general balance equation for this? Input, yes, it is available as input. Is it
Generation.
Input is equal to consumption.
Yes.
Is equal
Okay,
to
what about its generation? Is C2H6 is generated? No.
Consumption होगी.
Sorry, consumption.
No,
Consumption is taking place and it is part of the output stream. So its equation is like this. You can see that input is equal to consumption plus output of C2H6. Okay, what about next term, which is C2H4?
Output and generation.
Output and generation.
Yes, that's similar like which was for hydrogen, because the C2H4 is produced as a result of reaction, so generation is equal to output. So when we will write these three equations for the balance, we can put their values. For example, if you write for the hydrogen, you don't know the amount hydrogen generated, but you can put on the other value output stream, because you know what is the value of output stream. Similarly, in C2H6, do you know input value? Yes,
Yes.
it is 100.
Yes, sir. 100 kilomole.
So consumption, I think you don't know how much it is consumed. So we will leave it as such. Plus output, in output we also don't know. Well, that's also unknown. So later we have to solve these equations to find these things. And then there is C2H4. How much it is generated? So we don't know. It will also be like something unknown, and its output. So that can be solved later on, to get these values which are unknown in the question. So just at the moment, the thing is that you have to write the balance for species. So how you're gonna write, which term will be left over and which one term will be, like, you have to skip. What about atomic species?
Input is equal to output.
For what? First of all, for which atom we can write here how many atoms exist in this system?
2.
Yes, only there is a carbon and then there is a hydrogen. So we can write the balance for hydrogen as well as for carbon. So it will be input is equal to output. Input mean carbon coming to the system as a part of input streams. Here, you are not concerned about anything inside the system, what is taking place. Just you have to look at those things which are coming in and leaving from the system. If I want to write balance here on this system, and by the way, again, I will repeat, this is one system which is steady state. We are using for that because some of you can think that maybe if carbon remains in the system, then what about that? So that will be part of accumulation. Then you have to take care of that. But this system, or we are just discussing, we started with the steady state in the first line. I already mentioned this. What does steady state mean? Okay, so if it is not steady state, then definitely you have to include the term of accumulation and you have to find. Acha, okay, can you tell me the amount of carbon at inlet? Can we calculate?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
200
200 kilomole.
200 kilomole.
So okay, these two students are telling. Does other student know how does it come or how does you calculate this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
सर
sir.
C2H6 के 1 मोल है, कार्बन के 2 मोल है हिसाब से.
Yes, good. So you can write the similar way. Yesterday we were talking about this, that in the form of ratios. For example, you are looking for mole of carbon that will be equal to. You can start from now this is part of C2H6 in this system. So the moles of C2H6 are given are 100. This which is given. So I can just multiply this with something. We call that 1 mole of C2H6 give me 6 mole of carbon. 6 no, not sorry
2 mole.
Hydrogen
2 mole of
2
carbon,
moles.
not 6
6
because
mole of
C2. So it's mean 1 mole of C2H6. When I write here 1 mole of C2H6, it give me 2 mole of carbon. So this mole of C2H6 will cancel with this mole of C2H6 and you are left with the moles of carbon. So 2 multiplied by 100, you will get moles of carbon at the inlet. And similarly at outlet, then you have to look for these. For example, in how many component carbon exists? In C2H6 there is a carbon in C2H4. So how I am calculating here, by looking at this, you can see that I am just multiplying the flow rate of that component, that molecular species, with the amount of carbon available in that species. The same I did here, 100 multiplied by 2. And from where it came, 1 mole of C2H6 gives you 2 mole of carbon. So for these, you can write that this N2 multiplied by here, it will come 1 mole of C2H6 multiplied by 2 mole of carbon because it contains C2. And similarly, again for this, the other species, you will be writing at the outlet that it is also equal to N2 dot multiplied by 2 because this will be the amount of carbon leaving the system. Understand it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
N2
sir.
वाला एक मतलब दोबारा बताइएगा.
जी ओके, मैं हाइड्रोजन का बताने लगा हूँ तो होपफुली इट विल बी मोर क्लियर. ओके, अगेन लुक एट फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आई आस्क यू हाउ मच हाइड्रोजन इज एंटरिंग टू द सिस्टम, कैन यू टेल मी एट द इनपुट?
6.
Yes, sir.
600
This is
mole.
600.
It is not only 6, it is 6 multiplied by
100.
100.
from where it comes. You see there are 100 because look from where hydrogen is coming. You guys have to look at this. Hydrogen is coming from this molecule. Hydrogen is not available as atomic species here. Hydrogen is part of some molecule and that molecule is C2H6. If I take one molecule or 1 mole of C2H6, then there are 6 hydrogen. H are 6 in 1 mole. But here how many moles are there? 100 kilomole are in this system. So it will be 6 multiplied by 100 kilomole hydrogen at the inlet. Agree?
सर
Yes,
3
sir.
नहीं आएगा.
जी
3 नहीं आएगा. 3H2.
ना बच्चे आप देखो ना, आपने लेक्चर अगर शुरू से ज्वाइन किया तो मैंने एक चीज बताई है कि हाइड्रोजन का बैलेंस अप्लाई करते हुए यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ दिस. आइदर यू आर राइटिंग द बैलेंस ऑफ H और H2 and we are talking about atomic species at the moment. Atomic species
Okay,
H
ठीक
है,
है.
H single है. So
ठीक
1
है.
mole of
ठीक है,
C2H6 contain 6 H. Okay? हेलो,
Yes, sir.
जो
Yes, sir.
स्टूडेंट क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे थे ना उसको बता रहा हूँ. इट इज नॉट 300, 600 आएगा क्योंकि H6 है ना. अली, इट्स क्लियर टू यू?
Yes, sir. Clear.
राइट. आगे अगर आप इसको output, when you look at the output, so what about this? Now you can see that in output stream, H hydrogen atomic species hydrogen is part of all 3 molecules. So can you write for these? Can you tell me the amount? What will be the values at output?
80, sir.
First of all,
80
first
kilomole.
one, how much? How is it 80?
Sir, 2 से divide
80
multiply
into
किया.
2.
You write it completely like as I am trying to write here. This is 40 kilomole H2 per minute. So if I take 1 kilomole H2, it gives me 2 kilomole H. So from here it comes, mean it get cancelled and you get 80. Okay, first is 80. What about next value?
N
No
multiply
idea.
2 carbon.
How many? No, you are applying balance on the hydrogen, not carbon.
N1 multiplied by 6.
No,
N1 multiplied by 6.
whilst I'm talking about outlet stream, so it is N1, you don't know, and multiply by 6. You can see that there is C2H6, but mean output पे अब लिखना है ना, output के लिए आपने देखना है कि hydrogen is part of which component? Hydrogen is part of all three component, which is H2, other stream is C2H6 and other stream is C2H4. So for first, you know because you know the flow rate of first H2, so that you can directly write 40 multiplied by 2 is 80 plus next 6 multiplied by N1, because we don't know here the flow rate. When you know the total number of moles, you can just multiply it with the 6 and you will get the moles of H in that system. Plus, what about the last one?
4 multiply N 2.
4 into
N2
N2.
multiplied by 4.
Yes, 4, because
Four.
there are now 4 hydrogen, so it is 4 and 2, and that is equal to, mean for inlet side its value was like 600. So you can write this equation. Similarly, you can write the equation for carbon, and at the end of the day there will be 2 equation, and I think you have 2 unknowns. So this is one way to solve this balance. Later on we will solve this problem, I think in next lecture completely. Okay, but here again the purpose is that you should be able to write the balance, and you should be able from where that element is coming, that atomic species participating are coming. So how to find its value, how to calculate its amount, that should be clear to you up to here. So if you have any question here, let me know please.
Sir, you can't. फिर से
हसीब, आप पूछ रहे हैं, आप एंड पे दोबारा पूछिएगा, और कोई अगर है तो मैं आपको, क्योंकि ज़्यादा देर समझाना पड़ता है, मैं एंड पे दोबारा समझाऊंगा, डोंट वरी। और कोई जी, किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन हो? नहीं है? ओके हसीब, आप एंड पे दोबारा इसको मैं रिपीट कर दूंगा आपको। So here system with chemical reaction mean you can analyze that system by using the molecular species balance, which you already use somewhere already for non-reacting system, or we just discussed कि आप सबसे पहले you can write the balance on molecular species and can solve the problem to find the unknown. The other is like atomic species balance, and the third one which we didn't discuss so far, and I told you at the start of lecture, that is by using the extent of reaction. These equation you can use. Mean now either of these you want to use, you should have to go through the degree of freedom analysis, because now system will become more complex when reactions are involved. When reaction system is there, some species may be reacting, some can be like non-reacting. For example, nitrogen is available in air, and most of the time that is non-reactive. So in order to accommodate all those things, you have to write the degree of freedom analysis and can calculate, and then you can proceed with these system. So let's look at this, that for earlier system when there were non-reacting system, you guys easily know what does independent equation mean, or what does unknown mean. But here unknown more or less the same thing which you want to find, but degree of freedom analysis find करते हुए how to accommodate these reacting species and how they will be independent or not. Let's talk about them. So do you remember what does independent equation mean for non-reacting system? Can anyone tell me this? What was that mean? Independent equation से मुराद क्या होता है?
जो ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट ना हो सके,
Yes,
independent
the
हो।
equation which we can't get from the other by some mathematical operation. That's not only mostly we talked about this addition and subtraction, but if you remember there was something multiplication. For example, it is x is equal to 2 and other equation is 2x is equal to 4. So are these two independent equations?
No.
No,
No, sir.
because x is equal to 2 and 2x is equal to 4 is the same thing. What we did is just multiplied this equation with the 2. So the similar way I told you that you can, when you write the equation, simple material balance equation. So if we come to the specific example, you remember that overall material balance equation, and if we write the component balance, component mean molecular species balance, now you can name them properly, because at that time component was only component, but here there is atomic species and molecular species. So molecular species वही चीज है जो component balance जिसको आप कहते थे. So when you write the equation of component balance and overall balance equation, we have seen earlier that, for example, there are two components in the system. Let's consider chlorine and propane, and you write the equation of chlorine, you write the equation of propane. This is for non-reactive system I'm talking about, and then finally you write overall balance equation. So these look to you three equations, but they are not independent. Independent equation are two in that system. We already discussed this earlier in the lectures when we started with these non-reacting systems. So the same will apply here, that you have to look for independent equations for these reacting system. So for example, if you write the molecular species and you take some molecular species and they are in the same ratio with each other, molecular species which are in same ratio with each other. Same ratio mean, for example, they are entering in the system with the ratio of 1:2. One has 50 moles, other has 100 moles, so they are in the like this ratio 1:2. So when you write their balance, most of the time here, although you are writing the two balance, but they will not be independent balance. They will not be independent equations. I will show you one specific example in the, I think, next few slides, so you will be more clear about this, that what does this ratio mean. But I told you, for example, there are two reactant entering into the system. One has a flow rate of 50, other is the flow rate of 100. So sometime if you write their balance, at the end of the day you will not be able to solve it because they are not independent equations. So while writing the equations again here in the reacting system, you have to be careful about this system, that either the equation are independent or dependent. At the same time, when you write the atomic species balance, this should also be, for example, two atoms are available in the same ratio in the system, so they will appear in the balance equation, but they will not be independent equation. The best thing to overcome this or to avoid this is to write the equations. When you write equation in front of you, you guys can see either they are obtained from each other, they are being multiplied with some factor, and you are getting any other equation. For example, at the top you can see here I wrote x is equal to 2, and other equation is 2x is equal to 2. So this is just with the factor, you just multiplied with some factor. That's nothing, like only you multiplied with the 2, and when I'm like a 50 and other is 100, so that is again I am multiplying it with just factor of 2 and I'm writing the equation. So whenever you want to solve such equation, they will not give you the solution. कोई कुछ पूछ रहा था, आवाज नहीं आ रही, प्लीज क्लियर जरा रिपीट करिएगा.
सर मैं ऐड कर रहा था कि डिराइव ना हो दूसरी इक्वेशन.
हाँ सॉरी, आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं है, तो मैं नेक्स्ट पे जंप कर रहा हूँ. Okay, let's look at this. In this system, 3 species are entering. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here oxygen
Yes.
is entering. There are some specific number of mole. He didn't mention here. I just mentioned N1 dot. N1 dot mean number of mole of flow rate of this, mean molar flow rate of oxygen. Then that is like 3.76 times flow rate of oxygen. That is the flow rate of nitrogen actually, but it is 3.76 times the flow rate of oxygen. And then there is some other species, CCl4, its specific number of mole are entering to the system. And it is also leaving, when you look at the outlet of the system, there are N3 flow rate of oxygen, and that is multiplied with some factor of same 3.76 again. And then N4 is leaving in 2 states, vapor as well as liquid. So you can see that CCl4 was entering as a liquid state in the system, and it is leaving in the form of 2 stream. One is vapor stream and other is liquid stream. So its flow rate are given. So now here overall you see 3 species. oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon tetrachloride, CCl4. So if, for example, you write the balanced equation at the moment, just ignore any reaction or that stuff. Just write the balance, for example, for oxygen. I'm saying ignore accumulation as well as reactions. So if you write the balance of oxygen, what do you think? What will be the balance?
इनपुट आउटपुट के बराबर होगी.
Yes, input is equal to output, and actually your equation will be N1 is equal to N3. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What about second balance, nitrogen? Now just write its equation in your notebook maybe, or quickly if you can locate here. Yes. What is its
N1
value?
is equal to N3.
Yes, again N1 is equal to N3 because 3.76 will cancel. Now, I mean, as per your knowledge, you wrote two equations, but are these two independent?
No.
No. No.
No, because
No.
no, sir.
N1 is equal to N3 and N1 is equal to N3. So this is actually the one equation which is being used for those. And how does it come? Actually, it came with the thing which he mentioned, that whenever they are available in some specific ratio. So that ratio is like 3.76, and again at the outlet it is same ratio. So in this case, that's gonna cancel. But for example, yes, if it was some different value, then maybe you are able to solve this. But here you can't solve it, or maybe you can solve this problem. The thing here to mention is that the balance of oxygen and nitrogen is not independent in this given situation. What about the balance of CCl4? Is it independent of these two or not?
Independent.
Yes, that will give you any
Independent.
other thing like N2 is equal to N4 plus N5. So that's independent equation. So overall, you wrote here three equations, but the two are independent. This is somehow similar to stuff which you already talked about. So the same thing is mentioned here in the discussion. Just read it later, please. Which I have explained you here, that overall you write the three balance, but out of those, the first two are like dependent on each other, and third one is only independent. So overall you will get two equations. Now let's write the balance on these elements. How many elements are there?
4.
4 elements. So
Four.
Four.
I ask you guys, to write the balance on these 4 elements and write their equation. For example, for oxygen, if I write, because for elements, input is equal to directly output. Do you agree? You just studied in the last slide that for
Yes,
elements, we will write the balance on O, N, C, and then chloride, Cl only. So for oxygen, when input is equal to output, so it will be like, what will be the value if I just ask you how much will be the value? 2 multiplied by N1 at the inlet, and it will be equal to 2 multiplied by N3. I don't know the
N3.
amount of N1 and N3, so just I will multiply with the 2, because 1 mole of this N1 which contain 2 mole of oxygen O. So similarly you can write for the nitrogen. So what do you think for oxygen and nitrogen? Are these independent balance? If you write the equation in your notebooks, and you guys can see that these two are not independent. Okay, guys, similarly
Yes.
check for the chloride and carbon. So at the end of the day, just write these 4 equations, and you guys will conclude this, that only 2 equations are independent, because oxygen and nitrogen equation is dependent on each other, and carbon and chloride equation is dependent on each other. So just try it later on and let me know if you face any issue. So one of oxygen, the last line here I'm looking at, either oxygen or nitrogen equation, this we will select, and then carbon or chloride, because with each other carbon and chloride are dependent, and oxygen and nitrogen are also dependent. So let me jump to next stuff. So please write the equation. I think you know now very easily you can write the equations for all these 4 elements, and then try to figure out that there are 4 equations, but 2 are independent. So this you have to take care of this when you are going to solve these problems. So I mean, the thing where I want to reach is the last part. I mean, that's the degree of freedom analysis for all these 3 systems. Those 3 systems are molecular species balance, atomic species balance, and extent balance. So whenever you write the degree of freedom analysis for non-reacting systems, so can you tell me what was your equation?
Number of unknown minus number of dependent equation.
आप थोड़ा माइक के करीब बोलो, आप बोल ठीक रहे हो, आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Number of unknown minus
जी, जी.
number of independent equation.
Yes, this gives you like degree of freedom analysis. This was for non-reacting system. All other student, he is telling about non-reacting system. So now let's look at the reacting system. Whenever you have some system like here in the example, you are shown that C2H6 is dehydrogenation is taking place. So first of all, always you write simple same formula like number of degree of freedom is equal to. This is written in another way, but just you can write it simply the equation. Number of degree of freedom is equal to, first of all, the same thing, number of unknown variables. Here he said unknown labeled variable mean unknown variables. Okay. Next, plus number of independent chemical reactions. Independent chemical reaction mean also the reaction equations are sometimes dependent on each other. So just go through this section, please, section 4.7b. I will advise you to go through the book and just look at, he has given few examples that sometimes reaction equations are also not independent. And you know that what does now independent or dependent mean? Sometimes you write one equation and that is as a result of some multiple factor or subtraction or addition of 2 other reaction equations. So that's not independent. So overall you have to look at the reactions. In this system which we are discussing, there is one independent reaction equation. So next, number of independent molecular species balance. So you have to look at that how many species are there and either they are gonna provide me independent balance or not. So that's the third term, that's the new term which will come here with respect to the reaction. And fourth one, number of other equation relating unknown variables. So overall, if you compare it with the non-reacting system, in non-reacting system, there was first term like number of unknown variable and number of equation relating those variable. First and the last term were there, this one and the last one. But in between these two, they are related to reaction system. So just you have to remember like there are number of independent chemical reaction, how many you have to add minus number of independent molecular species balance, and this will give you the degree of freedom analysis for molecular species balance system. So here for this system which we have in our example that ethane is entering and it is being dehydrogenated. So let's apply on this. For example, how many unknown in this equation, in this question you have?
2. So 2.
There are 2 unknown, mean these the flow rate of C2H4 and C2H6. So 2 unknowns. Okay, you wrote here 2 unknown. What about independent chemical reactions taking place in this system? If you remember, there was only one equation, dehydrogenation equation. Okay. And when you write the balance on these species, they are independent from each other. Already we discussed somewhere generation, consumption, and those terminologies. So there are 3 independent. There were 3 species: C2H4, C2H6, and hydrogen. So there are 3 species. We can write 3 independent molecular species balance. And what about any other equation? Did he mention any explicit or implicit equation?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Right. Then it is like 0 degree of freedom. Okay. Clear?
Yes,
Understand this?
Yes, sir.
So up to here, earlier you have just simple 2 things, but here just 2 new more things are involved, and that's it. So sometime when you are applying the molecular balance on the species, species molecular balance, this is a very helpful formula which can help you, that relates actually extent with the fractional conversion of limiting reactant. So this is from your textbook. In other book you will not find it. So I have placed here because along with the molecular species balance. So that's one relationship they have provided. Just directly you can use it. That extent of any reaction is equal to like fractional conversion multiplied by number of mole of limiting reactant in mean entering to the system divided by V. This is what about this? What is V?
Coefficient.
Coefficient.
Yes, stoichiometric coefficient of that limiting reactant in the system. So that's you can use somewhere. It can help you. For example, in some of the question, they provide us the fraction. So and we know the number of mole and equation, then we can find the extent of that reaction. So or sometime even extent is given, you can find the fractional conversion or maybe number of mole entering to the system. So just remember this. It is just simple formula. So now next, what about the elemental balance or atomic species balance, or why we apply? So most of the time in the system which you apply, the simple you can apply directly mole balance of molecular species. But for some problem which are very complex or you don't know the reaction equations exactly, then it's better to go for elemental balance. Here I have mentioned complex system or you don't know the reaction equation. Can you relate it? Or if I don't know the reaction equation, can I not will I not be able to write the molecular species balance? I'm asking you, I'm repeating it. अगर आपको reactions equation नहीं पता तो क्या आप लोग molecular species balance reaction system के लिए नहीं लिख सकते?
नहीं.
Reason?
Because moles पता नहीं होते क्योंकि balanced chemical equation से moles पता करते.
Moles, yes, because we look at reaction and from where we get the information, either something is being generated, something is being consumed, or what is happening here. So when I don't know the reaction, I can't use that balance then, molecular species balance, because you just studied that molecular species balance involves generation and consumption, what is consumed, what is produced in the reaction system. So if I just know that how many carbon entered and left from the system, I know the input of carbon and output, I can easily write the balance for this. Okay, I can write easily the balance for this. I don't need the reaction. So either it was produced, consumed. I'm not concerned about this. I should be only aware about this, that for example here carbon is entering to the system and carbon is leaving. I should only know that it exists in the form of some molecule, and that's it. No more information I need. So in all those complex situations, it is better to go for elemental balance. So whenever you are using elemental balance, just make sure that elements are again independent. For example, here is the balance between NH3 goes to N2 plus 3CH2. I will again advise you to, because I have to finish it quickly, write the balance of nitrogen and hydrogen. Although balance are already given and their equations are given, just look at them carefully. If you don't understand it, let me know please in the next lecture tomorrow. And here you can see that these two are independent, not independent, N and H. So always whenever you are again going to apply the balance of elements, just take care of this, that they should be independent. So any balance which I write for C, H, O, these are just, for example, you can write balance on any other element. For example, there was chlorine in last one example. So always input will be equal to output, yes, whenever you are not dealing with the nuclear reactions. So now when you have to write its degree of freedom analysis, so that's the formula is given here. I will ask you guys to practice these problems so that you can remember these formulas automatically. So again here degree of freedom for now atomic species balance, that's equal to number of unknown variable, anything which is unknown in the question, minus number of atomic species balance which are independent. So please, in the last slide there is balance for hydrogen and nitrogen, and you can easily locate that the only one independent balance is there. So just you have to figure out, when with the practice you will come across this, you will be, it will be easy for you to figure out either they are independent or not. So the next term here is independent atomic species balance. So if you just compare it with the previous degree of freedom, which was for molecular species, so what was here? Can you recall, please? So that was number of independent molecular species, and here it is atomic species. So terminologies are more or less same. So just when you are applying on atomic species, you have to write this. Next, number of independent molecular species balance on non-reacting species. So what does this mean? Can any student tell me? इस टर्म का मतलब क्या है? Number
सर
of
जो इनपुट और आउटपुट में सेम होंगे.
yes, for example, nitrogen is there and he mentioned here molecular species. So for example, nitrogen is available in the system, it is not reacting, so that is leaving unreacted, and there will be some problem you guys will come across in which he says that this is neutral, this didn't take part in the reaction. For example, there is a nitrogen, so you have to look at that species, either any non-reactive species is available in the system or not. And then there is number of other equation related to the unknown variable, if any explicit or implicit expression is there. So let's apply balance on this, or not balance, sorry, degree of freedom analysis for atomic species on this system. So first of all, in this system, this already you are well aware, there are two unknowns. Then how many independent equations you have there? Independent atomic species balance. That's for C and H. We already wrote somewhere in the earlier slide. So C and H, they provide independent balance. We already know, don't need to look at this again. So next, any molecular species which is not taking part in the reaction here. Was there any?
No, sir.
There are three species and all three are taking part in the reaction. So there is nothing like independent non-reacting species. And the final one, any other equation, there is nothing, any other unknown equation. So that's simple. Again, its degree of freedom analysis is 0 here. In this system, you can solve it. And that's the last one here based on the extent of reaction. So in this, when you have to write the extent of, based on extent of reaction, in this later tomorrow we have to solve one problem by using all these three methods. So we'll talk about that, how to write the equations of extent. Already you know, but we will solve the problem. But here when you have to solve for degree of freedom analysis, first of all you have to look at degree of freedom analysis is equal to number of unknown. This is common in all. Next, number of independent reactions. He mentioned that one unknown extent of reaction for each. When you guys look at the reaction, you know that, for example, in last lecture yesterday we solved the problem, and at the end of that there was to find the extent of two reactions, reaction 1 and 2. So that's mean two independent reactions were there, so we calculated two extent. He mentioned here that there will be extent of each reaction, separate reaction will have each separate extent. And then there is number of independent reactive species. Independent reactive species, again वही चीज same के आपके पास for example there is N hydrogen, C2H6 and C2H4, so they should be like independent reacting species. Then there is number of independent non-reactive species. Any species which is available in the system is not reacting, उसके number कितने हैं. And finally any other equation which is relating the unknown. So all these will give you the degree of freedom analysis for this extent of reaction system. For example, in this system, how many unknown? You have two unknown. Next, can you tell me how many independent reaction in this system we have? Excuse me?
सर डिपेंडेंट दो.
सर दो हैं इंडिपेंडेंट.
यार रिएक्शन पूछ रहा हूँ ना, सेकंड टर्मिनोलॉजी. आप लोग मुझे लगता है आज सो रहे हो वैसे सारे.
एक ही है.
और अगर ये लेक्चर जो लोग नहीं सुन रहे तो डेफिनेटली आगे अब सारा कुछ उनको अगले 2, 3, 4 लेक्चर में नहीं समझ आने वाला. सर एक ही रिएक्शन था ना इस सिस्टम के लिए, एक ही रिएक्शन था. उसके बाद रिएक्टिंग स्पीशीज कितनी हैं यहाँ पे which are taking part in the reaction? You guys have 3 species. 3 है. रिएक्शन देखो ना, रिएक्शन के अंदर 3 है ना. C2H6 is going to H2 plus C2H4. So these are 3. So 2 plus 1 minus 3. Any non-reactive species in this system? No. Any other equation? No. So overall it is like 2 unknown here I have mentioned, plus 1 independent reaction minus 3 independent species. So that will give you degree of freedom as a 0. So I mean just to leave this slide and next is okay. I will start from here. I think आप लोगों का lecture है ना confirm अभी हसीब?
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Right, so let's stop it here, and tomorrow we will start from here up to here. If I just summarize it quickly, we have discussed that when there are 3 type of system which you can solve to go for material balance or reaction system. One is like molecular species, atomic species, and next one was like for extent of reaction. So we just briefly discussed this, how to write their equation for like species. Molecular species, already you know, we learned something about atomic species balance. Input will be equal to output, and how to get those elements from where they come. And then we studied actually the main thing here about degree of freedom for different system, which is molecular species balance, atomic species balance, or the final one like that is something called extent of reaction system balance. So tomorrow we will look at this, that why or which system you have to use, which method is good for you, or which one you should adopt. So thank you so much. Lecture is over, so all those who want to leave can leave, and any other who want to ask some question can stay here. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
Allah.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
जी Allah Hafiz. Okay, no question. So जी
सर वो पूछना था कि आपकी जो साइट है उधर से लेक्चर डाउनलोड में अभी करने लगा था तो वो एक्सेस डाइन आ रहा है, वो पता नहीं ओपन नहीं हो रहा।
यार एक्सेस
सर लेक्चर थोड़ा जल्दी अपलोड कर दिया करें।
wait and watch it later. किसी ने एक्सेस